is another exciting episode because we have another guest all the way from Canada who will discuss the benefits of a K-12 graduate here in the Philippines and how they can help you get into the university of your choice in Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Ms. Tresha Gunardi. She is the Director of Recruitment, Admissions, and Marketing of Columbia College, and Ms. Aline Manalo, who is the in-country representative for Columbia College. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
How are you?
It's nice to be here. Thank you.
Well, it's nice to have you here, and thank you so much for your usual support with our channel, the Kanata Education channel. So now let's discuss more about Columbia College. Can you tell us, for our viewers, about Columbia College?
Okay. Yeah, so Columbia College is a college that's located in Vancouver. We are probably one of the longest serving colleges in Canada. We were established in 1936, so we've been around for a long time. We offer programs like associate degree and also university transfer. So basically, it's a little bit more academic in terms of the courses we offer, the program. So we target normally high school graduates. So those of you who are interested to pursue your undergraduate in a university in BC, our college will be a really good pathway for you. We also have associate degree where you can just do 2 years and then get a degree called associate degree, and then after that the government will allow you to work for 3 years, and then eventually you can apply for PR.
Okay, just to be clear, Columbia College is not a private college.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not a private college, but we are non-profit. So once nag-aral sila sa amin, they're really also in a good college in one of the college and universities in Vancouver. Actually, we've been here for almost 2 years. We've been connecting with Filipino students, and there are ballooning numbers of hopefully Filipino students. Like we have 20 students around 20 students in Columbia College. So
Currently. Now it is our goal to increase
Yes.
the number of the students at Columbia College. Now let's talk about the location. So it is centrally located in Vancouver. Can you tell us more about Vancouver as a city for students?
Yes. Vancouver is the third largest city in Canada. I'm sure most people, if they hear the name Canada, they will recognize Vancouver. So, for me personally, the way I usually describe Vancouver is it's a perfect balance between a metropolitan city and a city of nature.
Yes.
So you got the fun and the vibrant of excitement of a metropolitan city, but you also have the calmness and the serenity of a city with nature. And I don't think you can find another city in Canada that has that combination. So I personally love Vancouver. Yeah, right.
Like imagine you have this
Both
building,
yes.
like infrastructure and all that, the city, whatever city has to offer, and at the same time, I just visited Stanley Park, and you have lots of things to do over there. You can easily spend a day, and you cannot even cover the entire park.
100%, yeah. It's that's like I talked to several students, and when I asked them about Vancouver, that's one of the things that they also mentioned. It's about the nature, because a lot of our students come from metropolitan cities like Manila, and like one student said, no matter where you stand on a street in Vancouver, there's always a nice view you can see. And I totally agree. Like even from our campus, like you can just look and then you see the mountains, you see the sky, and sometimes people take it for granted if you live in Vancouver, but I constantly remind myself of that beauty, and I think that's the beauty of Vancouver, is that perfect balance.
Yes, of the city and
of the
nature.
metropolitan.
True. And in terms of weather, it's not like harsh.
Actually, every fairs or every encounter with the students, just to compare. If I'm asking them, have you been to Baguio?
Yeah.
So kind of similar with Baguio, but of course Vancouver has winter season, so we don't have winter season here. But at least
like
have
it's
an
not
idea
as
with the-
harsh
yes.
as
Right.
in other cities where it can reach up to -35,
Right.
-20, so it doesn't go down that level of winter or
Yeah.
you know,
And
harsh
there are
weather.
students, still considering the weather.
Yeah,
There
for
are
sure.
lots of students considering the weather, so Vancouver is the right place for these students.
Yes, definitely. And if our target is the K-12, graduates, of course these are the kids who wants to do something, for fun, things to
Right.
do, like you cannot put them in a place where they cannot go to the mall at least.
Exactly.
Right? So in Vancouver, not just they are exposed to nature or they will get this balance between a metropolitan and a landscape, but because there's plenty of things to do,
Exactly.
right? And plenty of things to explore. Because next to Vancouver is they can drive how many hours to
Yeah.
Whistler?
Yeah, they
Right.
can drive 2 hours to Whistler, and then you can ski there.
Right.
If you want to go to like more shopping, you can drive to Seattle, which is like 2.5 hours in the U.S.
Yeah.
They have a huge factory outlet. We do have factory outlet in Vancouver too. You can drive a little bit further to Alberta and see Banff, for
Yeah,
example.
Banff,
That's 8 hours. I did a road tour to the U.S. when I was younger. I went to like California, even
Yeah.
up to Las Vegas actually.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things people
Yeah.
can really like. You can cover the whole Canada if you
Yeah.
want to, right? You can do like a drive up to like the other end. So yeah, definitely there's a lot. And you're right, like a lot of young people, of course, they want a little bit of fun and
Adventure.
excitement,
Yeah.
and you can find that in Vancouver
Yeah,
as
for
well.
sure.
Food is fantastic, right?
Right.
It's so multicultural. You can find any type of food, lots of Filipino food, lots of
Yeah.
Asian foods everywhere. There's like a really big Asian supermarkets. I'm sure you
Yeah.
have been there. So yeah, food wise, no problem.
Definitely
Lots of
there's-
rice
yeah.
everywhere. There's
Rice.
Rice, for
rice,
sure.
right?
Okay, so you mentioned earlier that Columbia College programs are mainly designed for academic excellence and all that. And comparing to other colleges, they are more on the skilled programs and stuff like that. Now, here in the Philippines, we have these strands, that year 12 students take. So whether they will be taking a STEM or an ABM or HUMS, and the other one which is a general arts strand, what are the programs suitable for, let's say, in STEM graduates?
Okay, actually, we do have two options for them. I think Trisha will be talking about the university transfer.
Yeah.
I'll be talking more about the associate degrees. So we
Yes.
have these associate degrees. I think the same program with UT, but the difference is that for those students who are eyeing to, let's say, work after 2 years,
Okay.
after they finish associate degrees with us, they can work after and then apply for a post-graduation work permit up to 3 years, take the associate degrees.
Okay.
But then again, it's the same, I think, curriculum with other universities in BC. They can also upgrade their associate degrees to bachelor's degree.
Okay, so is there any difference between associate degree and UT?
This is a really good question. I did get asked that question. A lot of people are very confused between
Yeah.
the two. So basically, students take basically a lot of very similar courses, whether you're
Right.
doing associate degree or UT. Associate degree does have its own requirement because it's a degree. So for example, they need to finish 60 credits. They need to take a few courses that are needed to get the associate degree.
Okay.
Whereas university transfer, you're basically doing the first 2 years of the degree that you wanted to do. So it's a little bit complicated to just go into detail, but but with both programs,
Yeah.
you can go to the third year of university.
Right.
So I think for safety reason, probably most students like to opt for the associate degree because
Yes.
at least they finish that and they get a degree. Instead, in case they change their mind and said, you know what, I don't want to go to university, I just want to finish with 2 years, too much work,
Yeah.
they can still get the postgraduate working permit
Yeah.
and they can apply for PR if they want
Right.
to after that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, going back to associate degrees, what are the programs for this different type of strands?
So we have business administration, mass communication, psychology, international studies, political science, general arts, computer science,
So
mathematics,
there's program for
economics.
everyone,
Yes,
right?
lots of programs.
Okay, so even if they apply for associate degree, if they feel like applying for a university, they can still do that.
Yes.
100%.
So they have the option of applying for a postgraduate work permit after they finish the 2-year associate degree program, or they can continue to a university transfer pathway.
Well, there's also another path where students can finish the associate degree, work for 3 years, apply for PR, and then they can go to university after they get the PR, because then they pay domestic fees.
All right.
That's also possible.
So that's cost
Yes,
efficient.
yes.
Much
If you don't really worry too much about like getting your degree after 5 years, that's a good pathway for you. Some students want to go directly, it's fine, but if you don't mind that, get a little bit of experience first, get your PR first, and then go to university, you can still end up with a bachelor degree.
Right. Okay, so can you tell us what exactly is the process when a student apply directly to a university comparing to applying first at Columbia College, then applying to a university?
Okay, so the university transfer is actually quite an interesting kind of program. It's very good in the BC system. We have a very good transition, the transfer system. So basically, students can opt to come to a college and do their first year and second year first. There's a few factors. The number one is, I think is the most important thing, is the adjustment, because college classes are much smaller, 20 to 30 students. Our instructors are used to teaching international students, so you get the more support. All your classmates are kind of like coming from the same background where English is not necessarily your first language. So that part is really, really important before going directly to university. Number two, which I think is equally important, is the finance part, because colleges, the fees, our fees is significantly lower than going directly to
university,
UBC or SFU, for example. So it could be 2 times or 3 times cheaper. And basically you're taking the same courses as when you go to directly to university. So it is actually a win-win situation. Students just need to understand that there is that pathway. And if you are transferring within British Columbia, it's guaranteed that all your credits will be transferable.
Right.
Yes. Of course, depending on your grades. Yeah, but all the credits that you take at Columbia College, if you're transferring to a university in BC, they're all transferable.
So basically, this can fast track their application to university.
100%.
Right? And it eliminates those extra paperwork, like a letter of references, possibly an exam to get into the university, because they've already taken a degree at Columbia College.
Yes.
Right.
So if you want to take an example, like if a student applied directly to UBC, for example, UBC's all undergraduate application requires a supplemental part where they have just not the grades. They don't only look at the grades. There are like questions you have to answer, like 5 essay questions. I think they need references, they need so whereas if you come through a college, you don't have to do that. In coming to Columbia College, we don't require that too. We look at your grades only, and then after you finish with us and when you apply directly to UBC from us, UBC doesn't look at all those things except the business school. Only the business school still requires the supplemental.
I see. Okay. Now, you mentioned that the price point comparing to university will be 2 times cheaper. So let's talk about the prices. So a program at Columbia College ranges between how much?
Actually, we only have one tuition fee for every programs. We are charging for per credit. It's $595 per credit, just to be transparent to the student. So $595, they are required to
$595.
Yeah, Canadian dollars. Sorry. So they're required to study 24 credits for the first year.
Yeah.
And then with this tuition fee deposit of around $14,000, they already pay the over 2 semesters. Medical insurance is also included, and also the activity fee. We don't have ancillary fee.
Okay.
So in 1 year, they are required to take 30 credits. Tuition fee is only around like less than 18,000 Canadian dollars.
And it's inclusive of everything, right?
Right.
So they need to pay the tuition fee deposit of $14,000. And you mentioned earlier that on the following year, they can apply for an installment.
Yes. So after they complete 2 semesters and used up all the tuition deposit, they can apply for this, we call it TIP program, so tuition installment program, where they can pay their tuition in 3 installments.
3 installments.
Yeah, so that helps a lot with
Yeah.
students. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's, you know, for every month they can pay for their
Right.
first semester
Correct.
tuition. So now let's talk about accommodation. Do you guys have an on-campus accommodation for our students?
Yeah, we do have homestay. It actually depends on the student because we have minor students because we have high school. So it
Right.
ranges right around like 900 to 1,000, 300, 500. So it really depends on the homestay.
So let's talk about the concept of homestay because not everyone is familiar with homestay. How this basically works?
So homestay, the concept of homestay actually came from the fact that some of these international students want to have like the experience of living with a Canadian family.
Okay.
So you basically live with a Canadian family and you get to experience the lifestyle of a Canadian family, the food of a typical Canadian family, and the homestay usually includes 1 bedroom, no sharing. So everybody will have their own bedroom.
Yeah.
In terms of bathroom, it depends on the home. Sometimes it's like you don't have to share. Sometimes you have to share it.
Yeah.
And the families are different. Some families have a few students that they host. Some family only have you.
Yeah.
So it really depends.
Is there any role of the school in connecting families to the student, or do you
So
provide it?
we run our own homestay program.
okay.
So in a lot of other post-secondary institutions, they work with a homestay company, but we run our own homestay program. We've run it for like decades, so it's good that way because we know our families very well.
Yes, and it's more of the security.
Yes,
of
the
course. We want to
security.
provide a peace of mind for the
Correct.
parents of the students.
Correct. So they're all accounted for. Like if
Right.
you have a student who goes into a homestay and he's not happy with the homestay family, then the student should talk to our homestay coordinator and we can talk to the family directly. If it doesn't work, we can move the student to another
Right.
homestay. So it is a very, very good concept, I think, and it appeals a bit better for younger students
True.
because at least they're living with a family, right?
Yeah, and someone is there to
Yes.
assist them, in terms of adjustment, and
Right.
someone they can at least depend on, or somehow they can ask for help in
Right.
terms of maybe a navigation towards in the city,
Yes.
something like that. And typically, how much is the fees for a homestay?
Yeah, the homestay we range like between students who need custodian who is below 19 and students who don't need. So the price range is about $900 for no meals at all to 1,300 for 3 meals per day.
Okay.
So it's
So
quite
very
reasonable.
affordable.
Very
Yeah.
affordable. Very affordable.
I see. Okay. Now let us talk about scholarships. We are big on scholarships, So do you guys have an entry scholarships, or students must apply to a scholarship?
The good thing in our college is we do have different and generous scholarships. We have university transfer scholarships, associate degree scholarships, high school, and even our English program. So we have this new scholarship. We call it Emerging Region Bursary.
Okay.
It's a 2,000 Canadian dollars scholarship for
Yeah.
those students. Most of our scholarships are merit-based. We
Okay.
also have entrance scholarship of around like 2,500 or 3,000 Canadian dollar scholarships. Apart from that, they can apply for academic scholarships. And then if they're very active in these classes, we also give them appreciation award around 105, 150. So very generous
So
scholarships.
let's talk about first the entrance scholarship. Do they need to apply before they get the offer letter, or they can apply after getting the offer letter? How does this work?
Yes, so in our website there will be an available form. We would be needing, for the entrance scholarship, we would be needing the IELTS as part of the requirement, and then next the form is more of about the intention of the student, why they're applying for the entrance scholarship. So those are the main 2 requirements for that. So if they can submit it, definitely we can assess, and then let's see how we can do for the
Right.
giving
And
them
then
scholarship.
every semester there is an available scholarship for them to apply.
Yes, academic scholarship
Academic scholarship.
and appreciation awards.
Oh, they do have also appreciation
Right.
awards. So these scholarships, they can check on your website, and definitely
Yes.
we'll post the link down below in the description box. Okay, you also mentioned earlier about a scholarship given to students who are applying to a university. Can you elaborate more on that?
So this is a fairly new scholarship that we just started last year. It's called the Scholar Path Program. Basically, this is for students who have already completed the program at Columbia College and has been accepted at a Canadian university.
Right.
They do need to apply for this. The website, we do have the application form on the website, and it's for the amount of $30,000.
Wow.
So this is going to be used to pay for the tuition in the university.
In the university. for
Yeah,
sure.
we are actually very proud of this scholarship. We're gonna run it. We're gonna try to increase the numbers
Yeah.
for students. So last year it was the first time we ran it. We have 7 students who won
Wow.
the scholarships. So yeah, so this is really good for students who are in the UT program. They're thinking of going to university. The fees of which
Yeah.
are really high, so they
Yes.
can definitely help.
Well, 30,000
30,000
can
is a
definitely
lot.
cover at least 1 year of their studies
Yes,
at the
100%,
university for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And this one will be granted to them on a credit base. Like if this will be already in the school, not like transferred in their own accounts.
Yeah, they're gonna be sent directly to the university.
Yes.
They can't use it to party or buy a car.
Right. Okay. So you've mentioned earlier that you also have what you call a community connections program because Canada is also big in terms of getting experience when applying for jobs.
Yes.
And since you guys don't have the so-called co-op, you have something alternative offered to the students.
Yeah, so the Community Connection Program, we started in 2021, actually, in the midst of COVID, when we realized that a lot of our students lost their job, part-time
Yeah.
job, because of COVID. So we started this program, and it has grown quite a bit. Basically, the whole idea of the program is we wanted to help our students get employment, and we partner with a few nonprofit organizations within BC, and we place our students to work in these nonprofits,
Right.
of which the salaries are borne by the college.
Right.
So the salary range, I think, from $20 per hour to 25, which is
It's a lot higher.
yeah, it's a lot higher than the minimum wage.
yeah.
And I think the job itself is a little bit more substantial compared to like a regular part-time job that students can
see.
take. So this will be very helpful
Yes,
in
for sure.
in beefing up their resumes in case they
Yeah.
wanted to go to co-op when they go to university or they wanted to find a job after they graduate. So yeah, so we are really proud of this program. We will continue to partner with more nonprofits in the community.
Yeah, but for this one, this is guaranteed that they will receive salaries, right?
Well, yes, it is a paid
Paid,
placement, and it's not very hard to apply. Basically,
Yeah.
I think I don't quite remember the requirement, but they have to be at least 1 or 2 semesters already at
Yeah.
CC. They need to have maintain a certain GPA, and it's not very high either. I
Yeah.
think it's 2.7,
Okay.
and then they can apply for it. Yeah.
I see. That's actually very good. You know, that's the only first time I've heard
Yes.
this kind of program to those who are not
Yeah.
offering co-op. Okay, so let us now talk about what can the student expect from the school as a support. You know, because there's also like problems of mental health. Do you guys provide some kind of like counseling in house and all that? Any on-campus jobs availability?
Yeah, we do have a slew of support system for students. We definitely have counselors, clinical counselors,
Yeah.
that students can access if they have mental health problems. They're depressed or,
Or
like
missing their
stressed.
family.
Yes,
back
exactly,
home, you
right.
know?
Definitely, we do have in-house counselors. We have in-house nurses.
Yeah.
If they don't feel well, sometimes I go and see the nurse
Yeah.
if I don't feel well. We have academic counselors that are always very busy because students will always like, I don't know what courses to take next semester.
Yes.
I'm going to transfer to UBC next September. What should I do? That kind of things.
I think that one is very helpful
Yes.
because I remember when I was starting college, I was just 15.
Oh.
And even I don't know what to do
Yes.
or what to take, and no one's telling me, okay,
Yeah.
this is the course you need to take or the subjects you need to take, and these days with this kind of support, or at least in Canada, they have this kind of team or department or people who will actually help you plan your studies. And it's very good, support for the students.
And we have probably the lowest advisor to students ratio among all the post-secondary institutions in BC.
Right.
I think it's about 300 something to one advisor, so that's quite low compared to other post-secondary institutions. We have immigration advisors, so that's also something very important. Make sure that you don't overstay or your visa has expired and you study permit. So and then we also have a learning center. That's we have a full service of tutoring for students. So if a student has any problem in any of the courses, we do have tutors for them. It's all free of charge.
Free of charge. That's amazing. And can you tell us also what can possibly jobs they can apply inside the campus, because students are allowed to work on campus and off campus, right? So is there any jobs they can apply to inside the campus?
Yeah, I'd just like to share that there are Filipino students who are currently working in our institution, and they are also earning higher compared to the average salary in Vancouver.
So they're getting more than the minimum wage.
Yes.
So for example, of these jobs are in the learning center.
We hire our students almost in every department. So the most common one is with student services. They call the student services assistant.
Right.
The 2 or 3 Filipinos are working with student services. We hire one in our department with digital marketing. The accounting, the finance people apartment, they hire one person. The library always hires our students. Learning center, we do hire our students. We're also very good in hiring our alumni.
Oh yeah.
So yes, if you finish program with us, usually
they can apply.
Yeah, they can apply, which is a really good opportunity
very good
for
option
them.
for them too. Okay, and with the recent changes, let us talk a little bit about the recent change with regards to the attestation letters. I believe we have news already of how these attestation letters will be issued, and we are recruiting still for September 2024. You guys still have time to apply for September 2024, and you still have time to apply for your visa application, especially that there's already news about the attestation letter. So can you discuss briefly how these attestation letters will be issued to our students?
Yeah, so the attestation letter, or it's called PAL, Provincial Attestation Letter, is a new layer of regulation that the government is implementing. So which means that every applicant needs this letter to apply for a visa. So with the BC, we do hear from our province last week that the attestation letter will start being issued on the 4th of March, which is today. Yeah. and so the visa is proceeding. Visa processes is proceeding for students. So if you're pausing for applying, please continue to do so, because so the PAL will be issued by the institution. So the institution will deal directly with the province. The letter will be issued automatically from a portal that the province has set up for all institutions. So it should not have any effect on the students'
application process. From our end. There is no necessary step or additional step that the student must take. But what about in terms of the turnaround time? Should they wait for 2 weeks or a month before these letters will be issued?
I don't think that's gonna be the case. I don't think this letter will cause further delay because it's automatic. So basically, I think the institution needs to put in some data of the student into this portal, and the letter will be issued automatically.
Oh, okay.
But again, we haven't done this yet, so I'm sure there's a little bit of adjustment here and there, and we'll see after that. But I mean, looking at all this and hearing what the government are telling us, I don't think it's gonna cause any delays. And this is March, so there's still ample time.
For sure.
Before.
But at least now we know that everything's moving forward.
Yes.
There's no more reason to delay or pause your application, because we now have all the necessary documents required by the government to apply for your visa application. So thank you so much, Ms. Tresha and Ms. Aline, for being with us today. Why don't you guys invite our prospective students to apply at Columbia College, especially for September 2024?
Thank you. You want?
Yeah, for Columbia College, we are encouraging you to please connect to our partner, Kanata, and let's talk more about your inquiries, and then let's see how we can help you.
Thank you so much. So I will be putting down Miss Eline's email address. So if you have further question about Columbia College, or if you don't know which program to take, if you have a career pathway in mind and you don't know which university also you wanted to apply at BC, then definitely connect with us. There's also our booking link in the description box below. You can avail our free consultation about studying in Canada and studying at Columbia College. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you again next time. Bye.
Bye.